Oh, a little bit of lag. There we go.
Okay, so in the red we have Shadow. And I hope nothing is wrong with these players. And in the bottom left we have the blue player, Berk.
And
Berk opting to go to house first.
So it is
Whereas
probably...
Shadow is also house first. And
so players
Berk
just
can
exchanging
stick it
some
out.
pleasantries.
He's just messing.
Yeah, he's just messing. Actually, the first time I played the new version of this map, I hadn't fully updated, so the cliffs were invisible, and I couldn't see that I was walled in. So I put down my house and I got completely walled in without knowing it, which was quite funny.
Must have been a fun game.
It was a very short game.
Fun and short.
So we do see Den out of our blue player Berk, and it's going to be Barrett's actually out of Shadow, which is a little bit surprising.
It's very surprising. I'm going to give the edge to Berk for this opening on this map though.
Yeah. This is nice for Berk just because... Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, once that worker of shadows goes down, Shadow will be playing in the dark and he won't know what Berk is going to throw at him.
Yep.
But he will scout the den, and that's it.
Yeah. Shadow will be able to hold on here with the defensive soldier, but it's going to be a bit of a frustrating start for him. I'd be quite interested though to see, obviously when he sees the wolves den, and based off last game he'll probably be expecting dragons. I would be very excited to see him mix it up though and grab the mage tech first, because obviously that's a great counter to the mass rifleman response. So if we're lucky we might see Berk mind game his opponent a little bit, but we're going to have to wait a while. And the first wolf is out on the map now.
Again, Berk not getting earlier castle, as actually he's making the castle right now.
There we go. Just to prove you wrong, the caster curse.
So it's going to be a Den Expo for Berk, and possibly Rax Expo for Shadow.
Yep,
as you can see here, Shadow's worker is hiding in a nice spot for that wolf to not snipe it.
So Rax Expo is obviously a little bit slower economy wise due to just that extra little bit of gold it costs. But not a huge amount, and that will go down now. Currently Berk just getting scouting information. Oh, nice little move there from Shadow. He will actually block that in, and he's going to go for the wolf. He's not going to contain just yet. Oh, Berk trying to slip out, but Shadow's
really
having
nice
none of it.
Micro by Shadow.
So nice play there just to clean up the first wolf, and he's got the first soldier on hold position as well just to clean up the second. So really nice start from Shadow actually. It's a great response to these wolves.
So even though Berk's wolf didn't go down that ramp, he did see the castle building, so it's not really a loss for Berk right now.
Gorgeous little bit of micro there from Berk.
To keep his wolf up in his opponent's face.
So for those of you who didn't actually catch what was going on there with Berk, is he actually used something called hover micro, which is effectively where you cancel the animation partway through, and because wolves have a long animation when they're attacking, when you're chasing a worker you can actually double the DPS that they would normally get with hover micro. So he does clean up that worker extra quickly, and he's going to continue to scout, but the first wolf is going to get picked off. So,
and we're off to a macro game between these two players.
So both players with a full scout of each other at the moment. and it's going to be Forge out of Shadow. What do you think about that decision? I mean, that's basically the same build he went for last game, but do you think he's safe to just assume it's the same build? Or do you think he should be trying to mix it up a bit?
Yes. This is the safest build I can think of in the current meta right now against dragons, because most Den Expo players do opt for dragons if they know what they're doing, and occasionally Den Expo players will sometimes go racks. But in the end, getting those early upgrades is a really nice advantage for the racks player anyway. And Berk does go dragons again, which means Shadow should be in fine shape if he doesn't stop his upgrades halfway through.
And he will actually be in a pretty darn good position. Berk is going to go slightly greedier on the tech and will be following this up very quickly with some upgrades. So that will probably give Shadow the opportunity to make use of this double forge. He will obviously have to get more riflemen in just a minute, but he does have about 3 or 4 minutes before this dragon will hit. They're actually going to hit about a minute later than they would do if you just rushed them. And it's going to be +1 armor.
+1 armor for Berk, which is the correct play here, and also +1 attack for Shadow as well.
So completely standard versions of their builds for the most part from both players. But obviously the second upgrade coming in from Shadow, which is going to be a second attack upgrade, is going to work out pretty well for him, I think. Shadow actually going to be the one with the upgrade lead this time round. That's going to make it a lot harder to harass.
Well, the purpose of these dragons, when those 1 or 2 dragons pop up, is to take map control and also force towers like the one in Shadow's Natural right now.
But of course, the tower isn't that expensive. It's about 200 gold, which is about the cost of 1 dragon, but it's not a huge investment. And Shadow making a nice set of adjustments to his build. So he shouldn't take much damage at all this time round.
Yeah, given the map distance between the 2 mains, it's going to take a while for these dragons to hit anyway.
Yep. It will of course mean that it's a lot harder this time for his counter-attack to actually get across the map and do that sort of critical damage that actually allowed him to stay a little bit longer in the last game.
And here we can see Shadow's main. He's setting up his second watchtower.
Yeah, so he's going to be completely safe. The dragons don't pop out for about another minute, and there's no way he's getting into this. Shadow actually setting himself really nicely up for the mid game. Sorry, you were about to say?
Yeah, so Shadow right now, once he sets up his defense up, like his watchtower and his main, he should be getting his third and soon, whereas Berk right now is also getting his third, so it should be a really long macro game if these players play it out appropriately.
Yeah, which is not unusual for Lava Bridge. It is one of our most macro focused maps. Berk actually maybe not planning to invest quite so much into the harassment this time round with this quick third base. Obviously that does take up a chunk of his gold and will give him that nice economic boost behind this, so he may just be buying map control for now.
Once these dragons reach Shadow's base, Berk is going to be really sad that he can't do as much damage as he thought he could.
Yep. And it will continue to produce dragons. They're of course still invisible thanks to that lovely texture bug that we've been getting. And
it's still invisible for you?
Yeah, I'm gonna have to see if I can fix that if we go into game 3.
Yeah.
So Shadow just gonna send a small scouting party out onto the map, and Berk getting completely deflected from the main base there. There's about 3 riflemen and a tower. There's no way unupgraded dragons are going to do squat. Oh, did he get a second? No, he just got the one testing lab. But he is +1 versus +2. So effectively just +1 attack for both players right now. But the next set of upgrades is on the way for Shadow.
Shadow's going to have a slight advantage in the next engagement between these riflemen and the dragons. So Shadow getting his third right now, and also getting riflemen to defend any potential dragon harassment that Berk might throw at him.
Yeah, this has been a really nice set of change-ups to his build actually. He is supply blocked right now, but he's already got enough units on the map really to try and deflect these dragon push. +2 +1 versus +1 +1. So he is going to be very solidly ahead on upgrade, then another one on the way. Oh, a little bit of lag. And Berk will get the nice pickup of slowing down this third base, but Shadow's already on that. It's only going to be about 10 seconds sort of delayed. Not a big deal. But he will nip into the natural base right now. He's going to go for it. Oh, nearly picks up a stack of workers. And will get a second one and a third. Really nice play from him there. So we'll get a little bit out of these. And he's going to pick up a few riflemen on his retreat. Shadow with not quite enough riflemen to engage these. I'm surprised they're not backing out. This is, of course, the issue.
I don't know if it's a mistake by Shadow right now, because Shadow is really behind in workers, and I don't recall Berk getting that many worker kills at that natural.
Yeah, well, the biggest issue for him right now is obviously Berk grabbed a really early third as these dragons are about to pop out, and he keeps delaying the third of his opponent. Obviously. Players like Marion will see oversaturate the natural and then mass transfer to the third, but we're not seeing that out of Shadow at the moment, and he will eventually try and get his third base up, and his scouting soldier will get denied once again. So Berk doing a fantastic job of just keeping his opponent in the dark and keeping him back. It's a nice set of adjustments for Shadow, but it's not quite enough yet, it doesn't seem.
Yeah, to add to the point where Shadow Scout just got killed, this is one of the weaknesses of the Rax player in this matchup. The Rax player will rarely get a good scout up because of all the slow units that Rax has.
Berk will lose a dragon in the main base though. He does pick up the few riflemen that were left there to defend. And he's going to pull the whole army back to deal with this, picking up another worker as he leaves. So this is going to be frustrating for Shadow. He just can't find the right positioning to keep this out of his base. And it is going to be another testing lab for Berk. So he is going to go once again into this heavy upgrade style. He is still behind an upgrade though, which is going to be annoying.
Late, but it's still competing with Shadow's upgrades at the moment.
Well, Shadow's about to be
Still,
2
Shadow is
upgrades ahead.
in 1 upgrade.
They're heading 2 now, I think.
Now 2 upgrades ahead.
Yep. So nice from him, and the armor upgrade is on the way. Pumping out 3 workers at a time to just try and recover from some of this damage. And it looks like he's going to be going for the same move as he did last game. He's building up a fair chunk of riflemen, and he's going to try and push out again onto the map. Berk once again,
yeah,
he's actually floating a lot of gold. I assume most of this is for dragons, but I'm really surprised we're not seeing mage tech out of him yet with 800 gold to spare. So possibly just not quite prepared enough for the late
He is starting his barracks
games.
right now.
Oh, did he not have one already? Oh,
No, he didn't.
that would explain
So
that then.
it's really late.
Yep. He's probably panicking a bit because there are some riflemen on the way and his upgrades are... Sorry, his gold is really high. So Shadow's going to try and go into the third base here, and he's going to meet a tower which will slow him down. This is the time to go. He's going to start raining a few fireballs down, and you can see he's keeping himself at a nice healthy distance. He is going to lose one dragon there, but he's microing back and just keeping it his maximum possible range so the whole rifle ball can't engage. And successfully defends his third. There we go, he's going to engage now and try and pick off some more riflemen. I think he should be able to do it here, but he will take a chunk of damage.
There.
Yep, so good control by Berk for the moment. But once again, floating a fair chunk of gold,
Berk
which
has really nice micro. It's keeping those two red health dragons alive with his micro. And Shadow in a really vulnerable position right now with only 4 riflemen at his third. Berk can easily just crush that small army of shadows and clear out the workers right now.
Berk is possibly, despite his fancy micro, he has actually let his macro slip a little bit. He's going to get the Mages Guild now, but he really desperately just wants to spend that money. He's got way too much built up. Shadow, on the other hand, is keeping his nice and low. He has got his 3-base saturation. And Berk's now going to go into the third base, going to try and deny the mining here once again. Gets in on top of this, and the riflemen aren't in a good position to deal with it. There is a tower here which will harass them. And he's going to pick up another worker. He's going to get into the natural base actually. The workers are stacked up, and there we go. Shadow does react now, but more workers are going to go down. The tower actually getting focused down. And there we go, he's going to switch over. The workers are actually stacked up as they try and transfer to the next base. That's actually going to be a whole stack of workers dead.
For Shadow.
Dropping down 10 workers thanks to that harassment. Really nice play there. He's got stop micro. Oh no, he's actually run out of gold in his main base. So these dragons are just going to look up for some free pickups. But they're not going to find them. They're going to back out again. There's a 4th base on the way now for Berk, as well as the Mages Guild.
Berk needs to get his workers from his main to his 4th right now because they're not doing anything. But it's just a minor mistake.
Yeah.
It's compensated from his good micro and harassment skills he's been displaying throughout this whole game.
So, what do you think that Shadow really needs to do right now to get back into this game? Does he just try and sort of go for one big push, or just push? Oh, Berk!
Oh,
no!
Berk
He's on move command, and will lose 2 dragons there. That's a pretty big deal. That actually might be what Shadow needed. He's got to be kicking himself for that one.
I didn't have to answer that question that you gave me earlier. I can just say, oh, Berk just needs to make more mistakes.
It is working in Shadow's favor.
In all seriousness, Shadow needs more units right now.
Well, he's
and
got
also
5.
Set up, 3rd mining base.
He's got 5 queued up, but currently he's supply blocked. And he... It sounds like Berk was the one lagging him out. So he didn't show up on our screen, so maybe it's just a...
Now, I think.
Yeah, maybe it's just a peer-to-peer issue. And Shadow will actually go down on the bottom right hand side here, completely out of vision range of Berk. And now he's going to see it. He's in on the 4th base, and that tower's going to go down without being cancelled. These workers are in trouble, so nice move here for Shadow. And he's going to force the engagement.
I don't think Berk should engage his army right now. I think Berk should just go for Shadow's 3rd and go for base trades.
Yep. I think right now that would be a good choice for him. He's obviously knows his opponent doesn't have a 4th base of his own, but he's going to go for it. The workers are going to come in right now. They're getting a nice set of surrounds on these riflemen to hold them in position. And the dragons are going to do what they can, but a lot of these dragons are on low health. Heal Mage is going to come in now, so that might make the difference. But that was about 10 workers that went down. That's massive for Shadow.
Right now, heal upgrade just came back up. Just came up. So
there we go. So heal is going to land.
Heals from these mages.
But Berk really needs to get this replaced absolutely ASAP. And he's out of heal NG on these mages. But Shadow's force is going to get cleaned up. Oh, that's not what you want. Shadow does actually pick up a mage and a dragon. That's pretty sloppy control there for Berk in that engagement. Not quite what he was up to earlier.
Yeah, after that engagement, they are currently equal in work accounts. So, economy-wise, even though Berk has his fourth castle up, he's not getting a huge lead out of this.
And the upgrades are actually completely equal, so Berk's going to try and deny this fourth base, but the Rifleman should be able to push that away for now. Berk just needs to try and take advantage of these dragons, see if he can find some harassment opportunities. Oh, I don't agree with that choice to engage. Absolutely not. He's going to try and micro it. But these mages do have a little bit of energy here to deal with this. Oh, but Berk's going to, if he micros properly, he might pick up a dragon. The heal spells do come in right now. And they may be the saving grace, but Berk actually is going to lose the dragon at the front right now. This is a huge deal for Shadow. This is what he needs to get back into the game. The Rifleman find mages on the left. He might actually lose. Oh, is he?
Berk
he doesn't quite lose that mage. He does drop a heal spell on it. But this is a lot of dragons that have been going down for Berk here. He's going to have to pick up these last few workers in trade to make it really worth it. He needs way more mages right now to keep these heal spells coming, but he doesn't have the economy. Losing all those workers on that fourth base, that's going to cut deeply into this army. He is going to deny the fourth of his opponent for now, though.
So Shadow isn't engaging well here. He is just sending his riflemen one at a time to deal with these dragons, whereas he should be being more patient, gathering more riflemen, and then engaging these dragons. Right now he's just getting picked off by the superior numbers instead of having the riflemen hard countering these dragons.
And it looks like Berk's going to go for a repeat of last game right now. He's looking to camp this production. He split off one or two dragons to start harassing the other bases.
Oh no.
Oh, there's a pretty big stack right here. Shadow does manage to split in time, but there's a lot of workers that are going to burn. And yeah, there's only 3 riflemen right now. Shadow is just going to die. Berk actually with superior upgrades on these dragons. 3 riflemen is not going to be enough. He's trying to transfer to the 4th base, but they're just going to get hunted down. And the mage is in a great position just to heal up all of the damage that those riflemen just did. We're actually going to skip the workers for now and just go for the 4th base itself. There we go, we'll find those. And this is a pretty good
It's a shame that Shadow's natural just got mined out. Now he has to go venture out into the dangerous third.
Oh, that's not what you want. And of course Berk is actually keeping tabs on all of the other bases on the map, so nice play from him just to make sure there's nothing else going on that should ruin his lead. He is up to 4 mages now, and I think this could be the beginning of the end.
Yep, these 4 riflemen can't compete with these 9 dragons that Berk has.
Especially not with 5 heal mages coming in to back these up. There we go. All the damage is already gone. And Shadow is gonna GG there. And Berk's gonna take that best of... Is it? Yeah, I think he's actually gonna take the best of 3 series. And go on to the next game.